Imagine opening an old piggy bank, sorting through a handful of dusty pennies, and suddenly realizing one of them isn't just pocket change. It's a life-changing treasure. Yes, Mubashar, some of the old wheat pennies, especially the rare Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coins, are so valuable that collectors are willing to pay thousands, even millions of dollars for a single piece. And the crazy part? These rare coins are hiding in drawers, old jars, and even everyday pocket change just waiting to be found. In today's video, we're diving deep into the world of America's most valuable wheat pennies. The coins that look simple but carry unbelievable stories, minting mysteries, and jaw-dropping auction prices. Each of these coins has the power to turn an ordinary viewer into a lucky finder. And that's why you need to watch every second carefully. Because who knows? The next rare coin worth a fortune might be sitting in your home right now. So get ready, because what you're about to discover could change the way you look at every single penny forever. Now let's begin our list with one of the most unbelievable and fascinating coins in American history. A coin that appears completely ordinary at first glance but hides a story that shocked collectors around the world. This is the legendary 1944 wheat penny, a coin that millions of Americans used in their daily routines, unaware that a few rare versions of this penny would one day become some of the most valuable coins ever discovered. With prices so high they can completely change someone's life. The year 1944 came right after the war demand year of 1943, when pennies were made from steel because copper was needed for the military. In 1943, the United States Mint switched to zinc-coated steel cents to save copper for ammunition, weapons, and machinery. But when 1944 arrived, production returned to normal copper cents. This was the plan. But history had a different twist waiting. A small number of leftover steel planchets from 1943 accidentally slipped into the presses in 1944. This tiny mistake resulted in one of the rarest coins ever made. The 1944 steel wheat penny. These coins were never supposed to be minted, never supposed to enter circulation, and never supposed to survive long enough to be collected. Yet they did. These accidental survivors became numismatic legends. Today, collectors hunt them like hidden treasure because even a single piece can reach unbelievably high prices. At major auctions, these coins have shattered expectations. One high-grade example sold for over $1.7 million, while even circulated pieces can sell for $75,000 to $150,000, depending on their condition. In extremely rare cases, special-grade examples have been estimated to reach up to $2 million, making it one of the highest-priced pennies in the world. The excitement grows because the 1944 penny also has valuable copper variations. The 1944 copper penny from the Philadelphia Mint in exceptional condition can sell for $10,000 to $50,000, while rare variations from Denver and San Francisco have reached $75,000 or more. But the true king remains the 1944 steel penny, the one era coin that every collector dreams of finding. And the best part is that people still discover them today, in old jars saved by grandparents, in forgotten boxes, in abandoned piggy banks, and even in random collections purchased from flea markets or antique shops. So if you ever come across a 1944 penny, don't ignore it. Look at its color. If it appears silver instead of copper, your heart should immediately start racing. Test it with a magnet, because if it sticks, you might be holding a life-changing treasure. You might be holding a coin worth hundreds of thousands, or even touching one of the few pieces that could cross the $1 million mark. The 1944 steel wheat penny is not just money. It is history, mystery, and unbelievable value packed into one tiny cent. And if you ever find one, remember, that little penny could be worth more than a luxury car, more than a house. Now let's move to our next coin. A coin from the late 1930s that carries a surprising combination of rarity, charm, and powerful collector demand. This is the story of the 1938 wheat penny, a coin that seems simple, but certain rare versions of it can reach incredible prices that make collectors chase it even today. The year 1938 was a calm period in American coinage history, but it produced some unique surprises. Even though millions of pennies were made that year, only a few special varieties, exceptional conditions, and rare errors have turned the 1938 penny into a valuable treasure for anyone lucky enough to find it. The most valuable versions of the 1938 penny come from high-grade examples, rarity errors, and especially the highly collected 1938 wheat penny. While many circulated coins do not carry massive value, the rarest pieces in pristine condition can surprise even experts. Imagine a small 1-cent coin that has survived more than 80 years, without scratches, without wear, and without losing its shine. These untouched gems are considered almost perfect, and collectors are willing to pay unbelievably high prices for them. A 1938 penny graded in top condition, nearly flawless with its original red color, can sell for $8,000 to $15,000 at auction, and in some exceptional cases, prices have gone even beyond $20,000. The 1938S version in ultra-high grade has shocked collectors by reaching values close to $30,000, proving that even a simple, pre-war penny can become a piece of gold in the world of numismatics. But the real magic appears in the rare error varieties of the 1938 penny. Errors like doubled dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and repunched mint marks can turn an ordinary penny into a high-value collectible. Some of these error coins have sold for $5,000 to $25,000, depending on how dramatic and visible the error is. Even minor errors can bring hundreds or thousands of dollars, and heavily misstruck pieces can go far beyond typical auction expectations. Collectors love these errors because they tell the story of what went wrong inside the mint, and each error penny becomes a one-of-a-kind piece that cannot be repeated. The 1938 wheat penny also gains special value when found in sets, rolls, or old collections where the coin has been preserved for decades. Many people discover these high-grade pieces in inherited collections, old envelopes, or forgotten drawers, and because this penny was produced during a time when few people saved coins for collecting. Finding a perfectly preserved 1938 penny today is like discovering a lost gem from the past. That scarcity drives its price higher and higher every year. So if you ever find a 1938 wheat penny, don't underestimate it. Check its condition and its shine, its sharp details, its mint mark, and any unusual marks that could indicate an error. The right version of this coin can bring thousands, tens of thousands, and in rare circumstances, auction prices touching $30,000 or more. Now let's move on to the next coin on our list. A coin from the early 1940s that looks completely simple but hides some of the most exciting surprises for collectors. This is the 1940 wheat penny, a coin that millions of people used during the years leading up to World War II. Yet the rarest versions of this penny can bring prices so high they leave collectors stunned. The year 1940 produced a huge number of coins, but hidden within these millions are small elite groups, rare high-grade pieces, dramatic error coins, and extremely well-preserved examples that can be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars today. For most people, the 1940 penny looks like any regular old coin, but for collectors, the magic is in the details. The most valuable 1940 wheat pennies are the ones that have survived in perfect, untouched condition, known as high-grade red pieces. These are pennies that somehow escaped circulation for more than 80 years, kept safe in collections, storage boxes, or sealed rolls. A flawless 1940 penny with a blazing red surface and sharp details can sell for $8,000 to $15,000, and extremely rare top-grade examples from the Philadelphia Mint have reached over $20,000 at auction. The 1940s penny is especially desirable in perfect condition, with some high-end pieces selling close to $18,000, showing how much collectors value a perfect survivor from this era. But the excitement doesn't end with condition alone. The real life-changing treasures hide among the era coins of 1940. This year produced some stunning mistakes, doubled dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die breaks that create dramatic raised lines on the coin. These errors turn ordinary cents into rare collectibles worth serious money. Some strong double die errors from 1940 have sold for $5,000 to $20,000, depending on how clear and bold the doubling appears. Off-center strike errors, especially those missing large portions of the design, often bring $1,000 to $5,000, and extremely dramatic pieces can rise even higher. Even small misstrikes and unusual minting flaws can earn hundreds of dollars, because collectors love unique coins that tell the story of mistakes inside the mint. There is also a special growing interest in 1940 pennies found in untouched original rolls or old albums where the coins have been preserved for decades. These rolls sometimes contain hidden gems, bright red, nearly perfect scents that instantly jump to the high-value range. Many people have discovered rare high-grade 1940 pennies in inherited jars, old envelopes, or collections stored away by parents or grandparents. And because not many people saved these coins when they were new, finding a pristine example today is incredibly rare. So the next time you come across a 1940 wheat penny, don't think of it as just an old copper coin. Look closer, check its shine, its edges, the sharpness of the lettering, and any signs of errors. Now let's move forward to another fascinating coin from the early 1940s, a coin that looks simple but can secretly hold remarkable value. This is the 1941 Wheat Penny, a coin that millions of Americans used during a time of global tension, just months before the United States entered World War II. Even though the 1941 penny was produced in huge numbers, the rarest and most exceptional pieces from this year have shocked collectors with their beauty, condition, and extremely high auction prices. What makes this coin special is not just its age, but the unique combinations of perfect preservation, rare errors, and powerful collector demand that can turn a single 1941 penny into a treasure worth thousands of dollars. The most valuable 1941 pennies are those that have survived in flawless, untouched condition. A true mint-state red 1941 penny with perfect shine, full original luster, and razor-sharp details is incredibly rare. Most pennies from this year were handled heavily, used in daily transactions, and worn down. That is why finding a perfectly preserved example today is like discovering a hidden jewel. High-grade 1941 Philadelphia Mint pennies have sold for $5,000 to $12,000, while the rarest top-graded pieces have crossed $15,000 or more, depending on color, strike quality, and certification. The 1941S and 1941D versions in ultra-high grades can also bring impressive prices, with some reaching $8,000 to $14,000, making them extremely desirable to collectors searching for perfection. But the real excitement for the 1941 penny comes from the extraordinary mint errors and varieties produced that year. Some of the most dramatic and valuable errors include strong double dies, major off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, and repunched mint marks that create bold and eye-catching designs. A powerful double die example from 1941 can sell for $5,000 to $20,000, depending on visibility and overall condition. Off-center strikes missing large portions of the design can reach $1,000 to $6,000, especially if the date remains visible. Some repunched mint mark, RPM, varieties from Denver and San Francisco have surprised collectors by selling for $500 to $3,000, while severe misstruck pieces with dramatic visual errors can bring even higher prices. These error pennies are incredibly desirable because they are each unique, formed by rare minting mistakes that no longer happen today. Another reason the 1941 penny holds strong value is the interest in coins preserved in original rolls or old coin albums. Families often discover bright red examples while going through collections, passed down through generations. Many of these coins were saved without knowing their future value, and today they can be worth far more than anyone expected. Collectors pay huge premiums for these untouched, bright red 1941 pennies. So whenever you find a 1941 wheat penny, don't underestimate it. Inspect it carefully. Now let's move on to the next coin on our list. A coin from the final year of World War II, a year filled with emotion, change, and historic events. This is the 1945 wheat penny, a coin that millions of Americans used during one of the most important moments in history. At first glance, it looks like a normal old penny, the kind almost everyone has seen. But hidden among the ordinary pieces are rare high-grade examples and dramatic mint errors that can turn a simple 1-cent coin into a valuable collectible worth thousands of dollars. The year 1945 marked the end of the war, and the United States Mint produced a massive number of pennies because the economy was shifting back to normal life. But even though millions of these coins were made, only a very small percentage survived in perfect condition. The most valuable 1945 pennies are the ones that still have their original red shine, untouched surfaces, and crisp details. These high-grade red mint-state coins can shock collectors with their value. A perfectly preserved 1945 penny from the Philadelphia Mint has sold for $7,000 to $12,000, while extremely rare top-graded pieces have crossed $15,000. The 1945D and 1945S versions in perfect mint state red have also reached $5,000 to $10,000, proving that condition plays a powerful role in the value of this humble wartime coin. But the true surprises come from the error coins of 1945. This year produced some of the most interesting and dramatic errors found on wheat pennies. These include strong doubled dies, heavily off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die breaks that create raised lines across the coin, and repunched mint marks. A bold double die 1945 penny can sell for $5,000 to $25,000, depending on how clear the doubling appears. Off-center errors, especially those with 30% to 60% of the design shifted, can bring $1,000 to $6,000, and if the date is fully visible, the value increases even more. Major die cracks and cuds, large raised metal blobs caused by broken dies, can sell for $500 to $3,000, while dramatic repunched mint marks from Denver and San Francisco have reached $800 to $2,500, depending on grade. Collectors love 1945 error pennies because these mistakes show what the mint was going through in a year of rapid production and heavy workload. Many of these errors are unique, which means no other coin looks exactly like them. That one-of-a-kind nature makes them incredibly desirable to collectors who want rare, visually striking pieces. Another reason the 1945 penny has strong value is the number of bright red examples found in old collections, inherited boxes, forgotten envelopes, and sealed rolls. Many soldiers returning from war saved these coins as souvenirs. Families stored them away without realizing that, decades later, those untouched pennies could be worth serious money. Finding a fully red 1945 penny with sharp details is like discovering a fortune. So if you ever find a 1945 wheat penny, don't ignore it. Now let's move to our next coin, the 1946 wheat penny, a coin born in the first full year after World War II. America was rebuilding, families were returning to normal life, and the country was entering a new era of hope. In the middle of all this change, millions of 1946 pennies were minted and used every day. But what most people don't know is that hidden among these common coins are extremely rare high-grade examples and dramatic minting errors that can make the 1946 penny worth thousands of dollars, proving once again that even ordinary coins from history can transform into extraordinary treasures. The highest value 1946 pennies are the ones preserved with full red luster, untouched surfaces and sharp details, coins that somehow escaped circulation for nearly 80 years. These bright red mint state pieces are incredibly rare because most pennies from that time were used heavily. A flawless 1946 Philadelphia penny with blazing red color can sell for $5,000 to $12,000, depending on its grading level. Some ultra-rare top-grade coins have even crossed $15,000, shocking collectors with how perfectly preserved they are. The 1946D and 1946S versions also hold impressive value in top grades, with some pieces reaching $4,000 to $10,000, especially when their color is full red and their surfaces remain untouched. But the real excitement comes from the error coins of 1946, which include some of the most dramatic mistakes in the Wheat Penny series. The U.S. Mint was still adjusting after wartime production, and mistakes happened more often than expected. These minting errors created highly valuable collectibles that can bring incredible prices. Strong double die errors from 1946 have sold for $5,000 to $20,000, especially when the doubling is bold and clearly visible. Off-center strikes are another favorite among collectors. Pieces that are missing 20% to 60% of their design can bring $1,000 to $6,000, and perfectly centered off strikes with a clear date can reach even higher. Dramatic die cracks, cuds, and die breaks where parts of the die broke and left raised blobs of metal on the coin can sell for $500 to $3,000, depending on size and appearance. One of the most popular error varieties of 1946 is the repunched mint mark, RPM, especially from Denver and San Francisco. Some of these RPM errors show the mint mark punched twice or even 3 times, creating a bold layered effect. These varieties have sold for $300 to $2,000, and in high grade can reach even higher values. Collectors love these RPM varieties because they are extremely collectible. Another reason the 1946 penny holds strong value today is because many high-grade examples have been found in old collections and forgotten boxes that families kept for decades. After the war, people saved coins for sentimental reasons or out of habit, unaware that these coins would one day become valuable. So whenever you come across a 1946 wheat penny, take a moment to inspect it carefully. Now let's move to the next coin on our list, a coin that may look ordinary but carries hidden value that can surprise even experienced collectors. This is the 1948D wheat penny, minted at the Denver Mint during a time when America was stepping into a new era of recovery and growth after the war. While millions of these pennies were produced, only a very small number survived in exceptional condition, and even fewer were struck with rare minting errors. These rare examples can transform a common 1-cent coin into a valuable collector's treasure worth hundreds, thousands, or even 5-figure prices depending on its rarity and condition. The true value of the 1948D penny lies in finding coins that still have their original red luster, bright shine, and sharp details, even after more than 75 years. Most pennies from this year were used heavily in everyday life and became worn quickly. That's why perfectly preserved mint state red examples are incredibly rare today. A high-grade 1948D penny with full mint luster can sell for $4,000 to $10,000 at auction, and some of the rarest top-graded pieces have reached over $12,000, stunning collectors with their beauty and rarity. These top-tier gems look almost brand new, as if they were minted yesterday, and collectors pay massive premiums for such perfection. But what really pushes the 1948D penny into the high-value category are its era varieties, which are extremely collectible and often highly valuable. One of the most popular eras for this year is the repunched mint mark, RPM-DD, where the Denver mint mark was punched more than once onto the die. Some RPM varieties show clear doubling or even triple punching, creating a powerful visual effect that collectors love. These RPM errors can sell for $200 to $2,000, depending on how bold the doubling appears and the grade of the coin. The strongest RPM varieties in top condition have even reached $3,000 to $5,000, making them key targets for error collectors. Other error types found on 1948D pennies include off-center strikes, which can sell for $500 to $3,000, especially when the date remains fully visible. Dramatic off-center errors above 40% are extremely desirable and can rise even higher. Clipped planchets, coins struck on metal blanks that were cut incorrectly, can sell for $150 to $800, with larger or double clips reaching over $1,000. Die cracks, die breaks, and cuds where parts of the minting die broke and left raised lumps of metal are also valuable. Some of the largest cuds from 1948D have sold for $1,000 to $3,000, depending on size and sharpness. Collectors also place huge value on 1948D pennies found in old original rolls, bank-wrapped packages, and long-forgotten collections. Many families saved coins during the 1940s and 1950s without realizing that decades later, their untouched pennies could be extremely valuable. These preserved rolls often contain bright, red gems that jump straight into high-grade categories. And there you have it, the most valuable wheat pennies that every collector dreams of finding. From the rare 1944 steel penny worth over $1 million to the perfectly preserved 1948D gems from the Denver Mint, these coins prove that even the smallest, simplest-looking cents can hold life-changing value. Each penny carries its own story, its own history, and in some cases, jaw-dropping auction prices that continue to amaze collectors around the world. If you have old pennies at home, drawers full of change, or inherited collections, now is the time to take a closer look. You never know, you might be holding a rare error or high-grade red gem worth thousands or even millions of dollars. The thrill of discovering these coins, the mystery behind mint errors, and the incredible history each penny represents is what makes collecting so exciting. So don't overlook the pennies in your own collection. They could be hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Keep your eyes open, your coins safe. And remember, in the world of numismatics, even the smallest coin can make the biggest impact. If you enjoyed this journey through America's most valuable wheat pennies, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another video on rare and valuable coins. And let us know in the comments if you've ever found a coin that surprised you. It might inspire the next collector to uncover a hidden treasure.